I'm Chief Joe Alphonse. I'm Tlatinko, and I'm also the Tlailcotin Tribal Chair spokesperson.
Today we will talk about Tlatinko Nitsil Joe Alphonse of the Tlailcotin Nation. He is the elected chief of the community of Tlatinko, which is located an hour west of Williams Lake. Nitsil Joe shows both transformational and servant leadership styles in very unique ways. The events that show his transformational qualities are the Tlailcotin Title and Rights case and the exoneration of the 6 Tlailcotin war chiefs that were wrongfully hung in 1864. The events that show his servant qualities are the 2017 summer fires and the statement for justice being a priority for the community of Tlatinko. These 4 events demonstrate how Chief Joe Alphonse possessed both transformational and servant leadership skills.
There's a lot of layers to consider when you take on Aboriginal title, but the biggest thing we had was unity.
Chief Joe shows transformational leadership qualities by inspiring and motivating his followers to transform the First Nations industries.
We fought the Seco mine. We fought them twice. We were told we could never beat a company like the Seco mine.
Even though there is a resistance for change within the industry, he continues to inspire.
Both times we beat the Seco. I love it when people tell me you can't do that.
Chief Joe's charisma draws people in, and he inspires them to go beyond what is expected. The 25-plus-year battle for title and rights on Chilcotin land was won in 2014 in the Supreme Court of Canada. It has completely changed the industry and the way projects are dealt with on Indigenous land.
What's going to happen there is going to be decided by us. We won that small area. We believe 100% that all of it is ours. This isn't just for Canada, it's for Indigenous people all around the world. The exoneration as Chilcotin people, that's the first thing we were ever taught. The betrayal that happened by government. The road building crew back in 1864 tried to come through our territory without our consent. It led to the Chilcotin War.
The exoneration of the 6 Chilcotin war chiefs shows the visionary part of Chief Joe's transformational leadership style. He envisions that First Nations industries and organizations need to have their say on what happens within their lands and their people.
Canada has a chance and opportunity to be a role model to all countries with Indigenous people, and that's what this is about.
He not only encourages Canada, but the world to work with First Nations communities to build a brighter future for both the industries and organizations of First Nations people.
So now we've invited Trudeau to come to our government house.
Chief Joe provides individual consideration to his followers and goes beyond what is expected of his nation as a whole.
And when he does his exoneration, it'll be to our whole nation, and that'll be the true exoneration. We want to stand up and we want to do this ourselves, and for that we're...
Chief Joe shows servant leadership qualities by influencing and serving his followers, which are the Anaheim community members. The first example that showcases the servant leader qualities is the devastating fires that happened this past summer. Chief Joe, along with members of the Anaheim community, were the first to defy an evacuation order.
You know, you don't come into this territory and this group of people and dictate to us.
This defiance shows that Chief Joe empowered his followers to be independent and self-sufficient. He encouraged them to find ways to keep the community safe. By doing this, there were no losses. Chief Joe placed the good of his community members over his own self-interest. He did not make the decision to defy an evacuation order on his own. He did it with the support of his community. Together, they all grew and succeeded both personally and professionally. The second event that showcases Chief Joe's servant leader qualities is the public announcement he made for a new justice program in Anaheim, when he told prisoners that in order to be in the community, they need to acknowledge their wrongdoings. He was given the middle finger.
3 weeks ago, all these guys He's got to come back. He's got to come in front of the community and acknowledge what he did wrong and ask for forgiveness.
Even though the prisoners treated Chief Joe with disrespect, he continued with the program and explained that it will make a safer community for their family members. He strives to empower his community to make their own decisions by giving them a way to be with their families and start their own healing processes. These events showcase Chief Joe's servant leadership style because he ensures that the community's needs are met over his own self-interest. Rather than being a protagonist, Chief Joe allows his community members to shine.
Today we talked about Tlarinco Chief Joe Alphonse. He shows both transformational and servant leadership styles in the 4 events we referred to in this video. The Chilcotin Title and Rights case and the exoneration of the 6th Chilcotin War Chief showcases his transformational leadership style. From these events, he showed his dedication to inspire his followers to help change the First Nations industries and organizations. The devastating fires of the 2017 summer season and the justice program that was announced by Chief Joe shows his servant leadership style. He empowers his followers to work towards self-sufficiency by defying an evacuation order to save their community, and allowing for justice to be served within the community of Tlarinco, not in the court system. These 4 events exemplify the element of Chief Joe's transformational and servant leadership skills.